Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here on this Monday to celebrate and thank you guys for 5,000 of you sticking around on this channel, being part of the journey, being new, being long time supporters, and being a part of this tech enthusiast YouTube journey. So I want to say thank you guys for that, and let's continue the grind as we will on Monday, today, which is March 25th. Now, what I want to talk about in this video in particular, well, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus and whether or not we need it. In this day and age of technology, phone manufacturers, companies, OEMs, even Apple, and we'll get to Apple in a second over there, they are drowning us in hardware. And I wanted to ask you guys this question in particular: do we need the S24 Plus? And the way I'm going to go about talking about this, you'll see why I'm answering that question in a second. But before we get any more into the topic, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell. It's all free. That way it's my videos, so you and I can sit back and see what's cracking. Now let's get into the video. And what I mean by do we need the S24 Plus is really, do we need 3 phones released at the same time from Samsung on a yearly basis, right? They used to do 2 phones, right? So this is where we can briefly talk about Apple before they come back in later, right? Apple only releases 2 phones, right? Apple releases, they release 4 now, right? Which is kind of crazy, and maybe that'll be a topic for them in a different video. But when it comes to their Pro models, right, they have a Pro and a Pro Max. They have a regular and a regular Plus model, which essentially emulates the Pro lineup just without the Pro features, Pro specs, the extra camera, etc. So that is the iPhone for you. Whereas Samsung releases a smaller S24, which I think I would do just fine with also. But then you have this big boy 6.7 inch S24 Plus model, and then they have the S24 Ultra, which really is just a renamed Galaxy Note device because it does have the S Pen along with, again, a couple extra features. So you start looking at the price differentiation between each of the 3 devices and the specs that you get. Is there a need for 3 devices from Samsung on a yearly basis? Again, factoring in bringing Apple back into the equation, when you consider an Apple device, the Pro and Pro Max are both rocking the same exact feature set. There's just an additional feature or 2 with the Pro Max that you don't get with the smaller Pro. That's really the only difference. There's an additional camera feature, or quote unquote camera lens, so to speak, that you may see or receive with the Pro Max that you don't get with the regular Pro, but it's not ultimately a big deal. And for the price discrepancy, I don't think it's worth paying that much. You're really just paying for the size of the phone, right? 6.1 inch to 6.7 inch. Whereas here in Samsung, they're kind of slowly trying to do something similar, right? The S24 is a bare minimum 1080p display, rocking most of the features from the other devices. But then the change with the S24 Plus this year was adding Quad HD to the display, right? And then that's the difference between the S24 and S24 Plus. And the difference between the S24 Plus and S24 Ultra is the additional camera hardware and the S Pen, and a smidgen taller and a completely different look. So when you start looking at that, and then you're looking at what you're talking about, starting around $800 for one, $1,000 for the other one, and $1,200 for the other one, is $200 enough of a difference to justify the device's existence, or can you just package all of this into the smaller one? Maybe even make the smaller one a little bit bigger, which rumors are that Samsung is looking at increasing the display size of the smaller S24. Now, could that mean that they're going to get rid of the S24 Plus? I don't know, but it is interesting to consider, isn't it? I believe the size is jumping to 6.36 inches, which to me, I find that to be a great size. I would even argue 6.5 inches is a good happy medium as well. and then you have the Ultra model, there would be no need for the Plus model if the smaller phone is now a little bit bigger, a little bit more preferred in terms of size. Because, not gonna lie, this S24 Plus is a little wieldy, but I also very much so enjoy it, and it has made me think about grabbing the Pro Max version of the next iPhone. But that being said, I only have two choices to choose from over there. I get Apple's kind of idea with the regular 15 and 15 Plus as opposed to the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. But in Samsung's case, it does start to feel like, if not a money grab, just too hard on the nose of cannibalizing your own sales by releasing just a ton of phones, hoping that, we just buy them. And I think with the S24 Plus, I think that we are starting to go overboard, considering, even though this device is probably the best device between the two, or between the three rather. I think the middle ground, the middle brother, is the S24 Plus. This is the true smartphone to get or obtain between the smaller S24, the Plus, and the Ultra. But if you drop down the two phones, you turn this into the base phone, right? The 6.3, 6.4 inch phone with most of the features from the Ultra, and the separation between the two devices would be the S Pen, and again, maybe to some degree, better display technology or durability, as we see with the Ultra as well, right? Outside of the S Pen, you have better Corning Gorilla shielding with the display and anti-glare technology with the S24 Ultra. That's something you don't get with the S24 or here with the S24 Plus. You could still do something like that with just two devices, making the decision to buy your device a lot easier. Because let's not forget, some people get paralyzed by analysis and may opt to just not buy a phone because they just don't know which one to get. But you can make that real simple for consumers by just limiting it down to two devices. It's not like Samsung already doesn't drop phones later on in the year anyway, right? You have the Flip and the Fold. Perfect. They might be dropping a third flip foldable device, but it's going to be a completely different form factor. So now you're just choosing different form factors as opposed to a different size. And I think just having two sizes, making that a lot easier on consumers, and it really makes it easier on them in terms of manufacturing, because you could actually end up selling way more devices by just having two models as opposed to three. And so that's what I wanted to leave you guys with, asking you that question. Do we need three devices from Samsung on an annual basis for the Galaxy S line, or are we good to just have two? I think that if we're not going to switch to a biannual release of hardware anytime soon, if at all, definitely start scrutinizing the devices you're launching for consumers to purchase, because you can really simplify the purchasing process for your consumers with less hardware and more thoughtful design choices and options for us to choose from. And that's what I think about the Galaxy S24 Plus. As much as I love it, could this actually be the base device, just slightly smaller, offering the same level of value while still having the Ultra as the other option to choose from, much like Apple's Pro marketing plan when it comes to the Pro versus the Pro Max? Maybe I'll drop this video with the iPhone as well and talk about their four devices, because that's something we could consider as well, with them going a different route or kind of doing sorry, that's why. Is this a preview of another video? Apple could potentially do what Apple is currently doing, or what Samsung is currently doing, just in a completely different way. And you see how it's still eliminating at least one device out of Apple's current 4-phone lineup. But maybe I'll do that video for tomorrow. Maybe I'll drop the video tomorrow. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys are also interested in potential ideas or reasons why Apple could also now lessen the amount of hardware they're pushing out, because that was something that they were really good at before, and now they are turning into Samsung, more or less, just dropping devices. So again, the comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to like the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It's all free. That way, it's my video, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. It's your man Micah signing out, and until the next video, wait for it.